And there's three prime areas of this, but I'll just talk about the framing of it first. I don't know, I'm sort of in my world of working on climate change and working with companies before, I flipped through lots of strategies, lots of them, probably as many as people here have. And I always used to skip through the introductions and look at the commitments. What are the commitments? Forget the words at the front. You know, anybody can write those. It's the PR and marketing department. Believe me, actually, there's something in IKEA which is important. Purposing. So we've written the sort of things I've been saying, 1.5, 3, 6, 12, that's in this document. That's our worldview. That's why we need to react. We've anchored it to our business. And it's our view of why we should do this. That's the context. And actually, when I talk to business leaders across IKEA, they take power and energy and purpose out of reading that introduction. And then they understand the commitments that are relevant for their business area. So I'd encourage you to read that, and we mean it, really. Then there's 50 commitments or so in three areas. And the three areas, you know, I'm going to actually do the second one first because it connects back to Martin's presentation. This is, we want our operations to be completely sustainable. So we want to be energy and resource independent. I'm going to touch on those briefly. We know we're going to be using electricity and energy in 20 years' time. As long as there is an IKEA, we're definitely going to be here in 20 years. Yeah, I think that's pretty definite. So there's an asteroid strike. And we'll be using electricity and energy. You can also see the prices will go up for energy. And inevitably, actually, I think carbon pricing will come in. Too little and too late, but carbon pricing will come in more and more markets. So we made the decision to go energy independent for our operations, and we're 15% vertically integrated. So it's for our factories that we operate, it's for our distribution centres, our stores. So we've provisioned €1.5 billion for investments in renewable energy. So far we've bought wind farms in 6 countries, which we own and operate to supply our own business. And we've installed 342,000 solar panels. You get a good price on solar panels when you buy 342,000 of them. We are re-tendering at the moment. We're going to get a fantastic price on solar panels next year. And we're going to do the next wave of solarising our business. We're also looking to our supply chain, because there's about 3 times as much energy in the supply chain as in our own operations, and setting with our suppliers aggressive energy efficiency targets and renewables targets, which we'll release this year. It's complex because you're in many different markets. We've not fully thought it through, but we'll have a good stretch target. And our ambition is, our target should be in line with a 2-degree world. So if you pick a business like us and say, if every business did that, actually we're on track for 2 degrees warming, not for 6 degrees warming. That's the path people choose to be on. There's a whole range of other stuff under that, but in the interest of time, let's get there. Resource independence is more challenging, and maybe it would just nice to say energy and resource independence. But we don't want to be dependent on commodities that we don't know where they come from, with fluctuating volatile prices. For us, it's not a fantastic market. If you've got volatile and high prices, that's bad. It's bad for business. If you're a trader, it might be good. For us, we don't like it. We want predictable prices, and we want to be able to have very well-managed supply chains where we can pass the benefits on through low prices to customers. So we've got stretch targets. I mean, we've already done a lot in this area. There's sort of, I don't know, first environment plan was 20 years ago, and there's 80 auditors working in our supply chain. I've got 16 foresters working in my team, and we go deep into the supply chains. But we set stretch targets on how can we make sure we can secure long-term access to sustainable forestry. So we really do that. So we've got a 10 million cubic metre target for sustainably sourced, certified. Interestingly, I'll come back on the certification stuff, Martin, actually. 10 million cubic metres of certified wood, which would by far the largest retailer of certified wood in the world when we hit that target. We'll be the largest before we hit that target. We're probably close to that with 3 million cubic metres. We're going to push recycling. There's a fantastic opportunity. If you look at recycling, I know there's a session on it here, but actually 73% of glass bottles get binned. If you look at a glass bottle, if we were put into a field with Stone Age tools and say make a glass bottle, it would take us a while. It's a fantastic piece of engineering, the glass bottle. 73% thrown away. We're only at 40% recycling here in the EU 27. So 60% of materials mined, brought together, concentrated, fantastic materials thrown away or incinerated. So we think there's a strategic value of recycling. So we've set targets both for our own products to be fully recyclable. We've now, it doesn't sound like rocket science, and quite frankly it's not. We've got a recyclable sofa. It's fully disassemblable, and we have things like PET in the cushions, so you can actually fully recycle the inside of the cushions. And you know you can do it and you can label it clearly. All of our products will be fully recyclable. We've also set a target for the non-renewable materials that will have at least a 50% recycled level within those materials by 2015. And we'll get on the way to resource independence. We're looking through things like vertical integration, actually. We're vertically integrating now into energy, so we may vertically integrate into certain raw materials as well. So that's energy and resource independence. Just to touch on a couple of other things. Better cotton. We're going to effectively certified cotton. We've got 33% today of our cotton. You halve the water inputs, you halve the pesticides, you reduce fertilizers by a third. Yields go up, you have happier farmers coming out of poverty because they're paying less for inputs and they've got higher yields. It's fantastic. And you work alongside that to make sure you've got kids in good education, with child protection committees and education committees in every village. It's a transformation, quite frankly. We're at 33% of our cotton. We buy about 1%, just a little under 1% of the cotton in the world. We'll get to 100% off. It's a stretch target by 2015 in terms of better cotton. So that's the next sort of certified area. Then boots, I was just thinking, I'm thinking about a diamond ring I got from Tiffany's for my wife actually a little bit of minutes ago. But you don't have to buy diamonds. You can go into IKEA at the other end of the value chain. €1 for your boots certified 70% cocoa. Fantastic tasting chocolate bar. If you're efficient, it shows there's a lot of profit in chocolate. A lot of profit in chocolate. If you squeeze that down to get a great value product for the customer, but you don't squeeze the people in the fields, and they get a fair wage, and you certify it. Same thing for coffee. We've got 100% Roots certified coffee. We're on track to be MSC certified or aquaculture certified for all of the fish we sell. We sell quite a lot of fish we're the top 10 restaurant business through the restaurants in IKEA and through our food services. So we'll make sure all of our fish is certified as well. So that's the certification. There's more actually. RSPO, certified palm oil, etc. I think certification is a fantastic tool, really, because we don't want to be setting the standards by ourselves. So that was overlong, energy and resource independence. I'll do the other two areas quickly. We have fantastic opportunities, 770 million store visits a year and growing. Actually, our Shanghai store, our first Shanghai store, has 6 million visitors. And I was thinking, if it was in the UK, it would be the third most visited attraction after London and Oxford. It's an amazing thing. From 10 o'clock in the morning it opens, and everybody's coming through. Actually, the only thing I didn't agree with in the previous presentation, and it was a great presentation, so forgive me on this, but we looked at our customers. Our customers care everywhere. Interestingly, IKEA customers care more than non-IKEA customers about sustainability, about climate change, about factory worker conditions. They care a lot. In China, they care as much as anywhere else, almost more than anywhere else in the world. Interestingly enough, on those. It's much more real and pressing to people. People can see air pollution through the window, and they know people who've worked in factories or work in factories. So the opportunity to help people live a more sustainable life at home. So we've just made a public target for actually choice editing. Why should we sell people that have bad products that waste energy, or waste water, or create waste in the home? We shouldn't do it. So for 100 years, people have been selling incandescent light bulbs as light bulbs. They're heaters. It's a heater, which produces a little bit of light on the side. I don't know where advertising standards were on this for 100 years. Now we have LEDs. We had a sort of slight diversion with CFL. CFL's got better and better, but we've seen LED technology. Fantastic. It'll last more than 20 years. So you put your LED, go home, for a holiday, for a birthday, for any reason, just because you love someone, if they still have halogen bulbs or incandescent bulbs in, swap them out for an LED, and for more than 20 years they'll think about you every time they switch the light on. And they know this, they've saved money for 20 years. 7.5 times as efficient, more efficient than the old incandescents. If you wanted to buy halogens to last you 20 years, you need 27, or you need one LED. It's a better product. So we're doing 100% LED over the next 3 years. We're banning halogens, banning CFLs. We sell a lot of lights in IKEA. we'll try and lead on price development to make them affordable for everybody. We're doing the same thing for induction hobs. The new fast food is the pasta you cook on your induction hob stovetop. 84% efficient. The food, the energy goes into cooking food. It's not, that's what a cooker should do, really. The previous electric stovetops were pretty inefficient, really, especially the ceramic ones and some of the really heavy ones. A long time to heat up, lots of waste heat. We're banning those. We're not going to sell those. We're just going to sell